37 at 7. So a pretty boring way to start the stream, but I haven't been on since Wednesday, and this ends tomorrow, so it's just one of those things. You get a green light on the screen, you click on it. I didn't actually catch first place by the looks of things. He's getting away. I think if I had it a bit lower, it's just topping out at 8 grand there, and coming at the end of the last straight, it dipped to 8 grand. Going down the hill, it was sort of tweaking out, and then the revs came down, so it was actually just revving too high, whereas if it was still quite low, it would be pulling with the torque, this sort of engine. So I guess that top end just being a little bit higher would have made it sing. But live and learn. I don't think it's worth repeating. History depicts. Wonder if Kaz is going to give us more in-car custom controls, as you would according to the car. Like, you might get a bit of a dashboard scroll or a system scroll, depending on the car, with the minimum buttons you've got. You know, just minimize it to whatever is the slight customizable function of that car's. I reckon it might be you know, something other than a horn and a windscreen wiper. That's a bit Mario Kart, but it is a lot more computer game compared to a sim firmware, so I don't know. It's not too bad, but this next update tomorrow, we're going to get the Integral, the Lancia Integrale rally car. And I didn't see, I was just watching a YouTube, I didn't listen to it, but it could be the old one or it could be the new one. I think it's the old one, you'd have to think, because that has one manufacturer's like 8 or 9 times. It's something ridiculous. Rally Championship. Alrighty. I wasn't paying attention, but I could have clipped one or two of those cars on the way out. He was in the C7, eh? I was going to take out the C6, so it's not even in the running there. Just grab a couple of quick camera angles of different cars in the lineup. Another Tesla. C5, is it? Classic late 80s. Awesome style and shape. Not enough credit given. And there's this very mean looking cabin spacious monster. Is that a Ford Focus? Probably was. And the classic American muscle supercar. Not unhappy with that. Probably not as classic as his. Is it the 66? I think so. Oh, that's the 05, isn't it? Didn't know that was so stylish. That's the 66. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-boom. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-boom. Very nice. Relax, man. Okay. Corvette. Stingray. So, dailies. What is it? Fuji. One stop hit at 9. Got those specs, I just haven't got a lap down. And the middle car is the Apricot Hill. It's at Trial Mountain. Clockwise. Is it clockwise? God, I always think of the Deep Forest. Yeah, Trial Mountain clockwise. Which has that funny chicane last onto the grid straight, that's right. And Goodwood is some floaty car. Remember. That was a death trap when I first got it. I wonder if it wouldn't be better to skip that one in the altogether. Just do a couple of these, I suppose. Oh, it's compulsory change, eh? So the first one is start on the medium, 9 laps or something. And is it Ferrari? Yeah. That seemed very appealing. Not a terrible spec, I suppose, because there's at least a tyre change, a compulsory tyre, and the same bloody lap. That really, I don't think you can change that. That's the funny thing. The lap maximising softs, and if they're dead, they're dead. You know, you can only get as much as you can out of the softs, and that's that. That's all she wrote. So the strat isn't difficult, but at least the spec has some variety to the mundane. Might just see if this is in any condition for oil and a livery. Probably have used it a fair few times, I suppose. I could actually check what the mileage is. Can't imagine it's very high. I don't think I've had a manufacturer's. Well, that'll do. Hankook. Psst. Just gotta make sure I've got tyre. $700 Kim. Fuji, eh? Fuji. Where did this swap over to? Oh, there's an. No, I haven't got it. I have not done that. 8 days a week. I did have a go. 8:31. 32.0, 31.9, 992, and I'm at 32.0. Oh my god. So I probably went, oh right, after 2 laps, that will get done. I probably will forget. Oh, they measure it so right, don't they? Oh. I do have a very safe lap. It's not exactly a push lap. So if I did a safe lap, it would be right on Kaz's money. Anyway, must have mediums on. I should have done that, otherwise I could change every frackin' time. Alright, might even mute the old flabbergap. Jester's no slouch, so even one car. I guess Scumbag isn't a lightning bolt. So that's interesting. He's mixed it up. He's got a couple of accounts, the old Scumbag. Which I did not know. Alright, if I beat 39, that's top dollar. Get a feel for it. Let's check the right height. Well, I'm not going to be at 39 because I'm on mediums. So with me at 41s. I'm way off. Oh, big snap. Thought it was going to chuck me out. Couldn't even grab third. Even on mediums. 42. I lost 3/10. Only 1/10 off 41. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. That went through the firewall. Ah, shit. More into yeah, I guess the only saving grace for this sort of daily doldrums they've had the last 3 in a row is a non-meta car choice for a lot of people. It does mix it up a bit, and Oh, got another one. Another PB. I was actually thought 41s might be a struggle, but that'd be low 41s if I kept going, I think. Yes, so when is that? Six minutes, and then what is it? 6 laps. 246. 6 to go. 666. Better do a couple of softs then, eh? What was it, a 39? No, if I did 39 it'd be average. If I beat 39, pretty good. Into the top 5, that's probably pretty good there. So I won't do that straight off. 1 lap. 246, I might get 3. Is that 139? We will get 3. Oh! Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Just. One-tenth. 5/10 better than last sector. I come out of that pinned. I had to have lived. I should have lifted. Manic for not lifting. Oh, I might get one more in. Can't do that. Just trying to push when I haven't got the rhythm together. 2 laps in. 3rd lap's a push lap. Very interesting. Yeah, when it lets go, it just sort of jumps too, doesn't it? Gotta really recover. I'll have to watch that as the tyres start to dig, because it's massive wear. I don't think there's any fuel, is there? Fuel dig. Oh. Every corner I try and push, it just lets go. So I must have been on the limit. For my exits anyway. Entry is another story, especially this one. All the marbles that are going to be there for extreme tyre wear. There's going to be a litter box out there. So I won't want to take a wide line race pace. Just scrub anyway. Aussie lingo. Lime green. Ferrari, oh, one car off meta. Who says g'day? Pinkish sea. Pinkish sea. Fair enough. So 41's is good, eh? 41 low might be a bit of a burn, but we shall see. Maybe 8th. Guessing I'll chuck it on the back, but might just make it a conservative stint. 8th is not great. JJ Norms, definitely raced him in Nations, I think. Oh, he might have settled g'day because he's behind me. Perifolia. Oh, fuck off. Do that. There we go, the 100. I'm going to get a corner cut for that. I was just trying to help him along. I didn't want to mess up early. Fucking being nice. Elbows out dailies. Be better. Rightio. He's right there. All kicking off. Playing a bit of sniff the butt at the moment, Norms. Oh! I looked up and saw the 50. Oi! Oi! Fucking hell! Behind pinkish. There's a yellow car. He just spun me. Even if I put in some laps, I've got traffic now. There we go. Hope you're quick, mate. You don't seem like it. Defending for all he's worth. Fuck. Wish we could do some bum drafting. At least he's quick enough. First chance he got, he's tearing his tyres up. Sorry. He's going for the switchback on him and he got in my way. Try and leave him a bit of room, but it would be my fault. What did he get? Weaving. And then overshooting the apex. Fuck off. Already last. Stay still. Stay right where you are. It's fourth gear through here, isn't it? Oh, he's going to take him on pit lane. Tagged him. Assume the position. Shit. Missed him. That's a lot of car too, eh? He's a weaver. Shit. He should have given that one up. Did he get a pen? Well done, Norms, for letting him in. Nations Cup driver. Well, one of them should have given it up anyway. Don't you? Need it tagged. Just a slight inside line freaked him out. Must have thought I was going to look. Go. That's running into someone. That's tagging them. Fucking dickheads. Daily drivers. Could have conceded that last one, but it was obvious I was fucking pushing to not. So then he runs into you twice. It's like, oh, okay, you're going to be... If I was going to be hard ass about it, you'd be dirty. That's not a good mentality. You're like, okay, I've got to beat you another way. Fuck. You can't just drift to the left when you got road to your right and run into someone. It's just fucking barging them off the track. That was the first hit, so I think, alright, he's fucking barged me, he knows he's done the wrong thing. I'll hold the inside line. Go as wide as or as deep as I like. He tried to do the switch and tagged me and spun me. What the fuck? It's just, why bother to play if you're going to play dirty? That's why I really got no incentive to get onto dailies in any hurry. It's alright Monday when people are a bit stupid. They're figuring it out. As soon as they had a couple of days up under their belt, they're fucking king shit. You're in their way if you're racing on the road. It's like, that's racing. Not hot laps or barging someone off. Like fucking Mario Karts. I just forget, and then every time it happens, I'm shocked. I'm like, what? Why? Why should I be shocked? And the deal in the Mazda, I bet he was trying to pass because someone who was in front of him, didn't matter when or where. And he's overshooting, let two cars past him, so he's like, oh fuck this. I'll quit. Literally, I'll quit. I had the most terrible first fucking lap. I think, oh okay, it's my first race, but I followed norms off the track to corner cut because I just wanted a bump draft first lap. Didn't want to really attack into that corner, which is no good on the inside anyway. But followed him off the track and we both get a penalty, and then I get spun, and then railroaded off the track and then into another spin. The two spins in a barge plus a penalty of my own. I could put that down to being a terrible race. I wouldn't quit. But it is like rubbing shoulders with someone like the fella that pushed me off. Now I'm sort of rubbing shoulders with drivers of that green line traction, all that other stuff that goes along with your uploading up algorithms. Hardly worth it. So quitting's an option. Take the hit. Really. That's as good as the game is. Quit. So another update tomorrow to string us along, keep me going. I honestly thought he was going to take me on the straightaway, and I missed that gear change, not purposefully, but I tried to over rev and not do the big pull, and it was pinkish. He said g'day at the start, and then he's fucking barged me twice. I'll just give him a bit of a say hello next time. Top 8 was qualifying on mediums. Is it worth going against? Probably a quick turnover, I thought I heard someone say. It is. May as well do 3 then. I'm not going to persist. Oh no, I did get a 39. I did a couple of laps on soft. So top 8 on soft, that's not good. Can't get around again in between races, so I can either try and qualify again for a 3rd attempt or fuck. Annoying. Have to have a shot. Have to have a bourbon with dinner. Saw this sign up today for yoga lessons in the park. You know, you go along and you just do yoga next to their little Chinese lady or whatever. And it had yoga number 7. I thought, yoga number 7. What is that synonymous with? Of course, Jack Daniels. How do you get more relaxed than yoga? Have 2 sips of that? Well, there's scumbags in this one. And Dale Teats. Dale's Teats. Teats. Tweak it. Don't. Oh fuck, I better change. That would be probably not a good strategy. I think that might have been what Norm did. How did he get back? Somebody pit early. No, the other car, because Norm's came out with us. All of a sudden I was up a position or something. I'll have to have a look at that replay. That was shit. He was just weaving all over the place, and every time he exited there was a snap or a freaking Mazdas, I don't know. Can't live with them. Jeez, I thought, when did I change cars? Motherfucker. Yeah. Seating position. Just gotta try and get a bit of butt memory. You gotta squeeze your cheeks just the right amount so that when it snaps in, you're at the right seat height. I think that's the right cockpit height for your VR. It's a bit of a conundrum. Dirty scumbag in the GT. Paper rider. Oh, he's gonna cut in there. Stay on this dude. Oh, don't do it. Irksome. Oh. Ah. Nice line. If you can have it. You know, not hit the other person though. Fuck, 2 positions. Where's he going? Alright. You alright, son? You get boxed in, bud. Shit, he isn't. Fucking hell. That makes a mess of it. Oh, no room there, mate. He's keen. Ah, really? Use me, what a tactic. Yeah. Another one. Good if you can get it. I didn't exactly have much room on the outside, seeing as I was 2 wheels off the track. Get it. Fix up that last corner. Paper rider. wider than me. Too much second run on there. I was looking to change that corner for myself. Damn it, lost the slip. Fuck. Reverse strategy? Could have been done, yeah. Traffic at the back. He'll get some clean laps in now. Jesus. Where's he gone? I know it's 6 and 9, that's more like it. Hop. Oh shit. Can't see shit again. Oi! Fuck. Probably get a penalty for that. And these two coming down the straight there now. Must be doing quite well with the undercut, I suppose. Yeah, we got a bit of tyre, I suppose. Shit. That was the clutch moment there. Will happen. Nope, he's off. He must have known he's reversed the strategy. Probably was trying to make room. Shit. He's got slip as well. Not too tight, my friend. Around the outside. Waste of time. Good switch for him. Yep, you can go nice and deep there, mate. Well done. Just gotta get a good run out of here. a done deal. He's got me on that last corner. Only really got him there. I got a good lead into it. Following the leader here. Has got a better corner there. Need to stay with him there. He's putting it all into that corner. To have better line here. She did well. Oh shit, is that a pen? Carolina penalty. Last lap. God, if they're me softs, could do better. I was trying, scumbag, I was trying. I can turn this Queen Mary. Balked him, he did go inside, and I went wide. Now, yeah, it didn't work out for the reverse strat, and the other guy came a gutser, so I think they were just either hoping to get better laps in. He came a gutser, and they're A+, so maybe they were just silly to race each other instead of push to beat us. A+ drivers. No. Might as well go again because that was relatively clean. Actually, that was clean. I can't think of an incident. Oh. My pen. So I wish it was more front. Might look at that bias, more front wear. It was too much on my drivetrain. Pretty sure that was a clean daily. Oh, less time this time. 40 seconds. Oh, it was probably a bad race then. I had about a minute before. It was just slow from the back, or what happened then? Couldn't have been a minute slow. Could have been. But a minute slower. I mean, that first race was a bucket of shit. And I had more time between splits. That's weird. That is weird. Hoo-ah, it's cold. Dale's Teats, Windermere is 4th. He's got the Hurricane today. Windermere. He might come a gutser. Not make it to the second episode. I got a cool t-shirt the other day that was from Hobbit 3, I believe, The Lonely Mountain. With the mountain in the middle and a dragon above it and shit. It's pretty cool. EB Games, half price. $12 t-shirt. I can't even get that at fucking Target or Big W. And this was an authorised Lord of the Rings freaking Peter Jackson shirt. Shit, gotta change my tyre. Sure, it was Windermere that didn't make it out of the first. Oh, that must have been Lord of the Rings. Not the Hobbit. Jeez, it might be. Could be here. I might just leave it in the middle and see how that burns. And I'll have a better softs. That was weird. I had pretty good softs. I could have undercut the old Scumbag. Paper rider. Ooh, what's he going? Made his move. Shit. Shit. I did that. Stay on your line. Doesn't have to, I suppose. Understood. You came out of that pretty good. Should have pushed him. That was a shocker. 2 out. Oh, that was wide. We got a pen. Ah, rubbish. Getting a little bit less rotation there. Fucking hell, what is that? Dragging me feet. Hurricane in a hurry. I've only got that done. Needed to hold that slip. Hopefully they get held up in traffic. Ah, again. Garbage. closer, but no cigar. .9, not good enough. Shit. Just not doing that corner right. .9 was the last one. That was not. Fuck me, not getting that. That lap was worse than the last one. Fuck, for 12. I'm shit. What are you on, 5? traction was. .41. Someone's in the pits. Oi. One more, eh? Maybe once. That is not quick enough. Oi, fucking hell. Do it. Window breeze, coincidentally, was like-minded. He's got 10 seconds on me, so that's not good. There goes this other car. Fucking hell, grab fifth. Dirty fucking Apex. Nice one out. He's got someone to chase. What time to be coming out of the pits though? What was that? 4 laps to go, 5 laps to go. Damn. They can just bump away. I thought one of them might have been on mediums. Yourself awake. Not good. Did it again. Big snap save with a short shift. Guess they could come together, but I doubt it. Not a decel from this car, from left off. Sort of something to get used to. Love that. Oh, those last 3-4 laps were 6/10 under me best. I don't know if that's any good. And if I set my best on mediums, tough field I suppose. Window breeze, come back from 10th to 4th. Oh no, he's 10 seconds ahead of me, so what's that gap? 15 to 29, that's a 15-second gap. He did take, well, at least 15 seconds. So that was 5 more than he exited with the pit. If he was 11 seconds ahead at the pit. He got up to 14:15. That last stint, 3 seconds more. I can't keep up with that top 5. He spun, and I lost the probably 3 in a row. Yeah, well, a bit too much energy. 6:30. I might try and just do a wind down because I'm sweating. We're going to have a cold night tonight. It's going from 13 overnight to 7 for 2 nights. 7 minimum. 7 degrees tomorrow morning. What car can I take out? I haven't taken out in a long time. Just for a cruise. TF maybe, if there's something similar. TF or sports tyres. Just this bloody pause reminds me of that show in the mornings. Is it Blackboard? Hurry up. Fucking play school or something. Recruitment. Free drive. TF? Anyone? Free with respect. Free as in anything goes. You're gonna get Mexican on my ass. Is that? That's not Mexican. That's Irish, isn't it? Oh my god. There's AB. That does make it difficult. At least he won't drop it. 700p Shelby cruise lap. RCF. NSX Group 4. An absolute stock. Yep, stock. Mazda. There's going to be a new Mazda supercar. Rotary is coming back. But I got 520p, it's only under 300 horse. And I didn't change the tyre, even though I bought them. You know, I was doing some jibber jabber. 570 at 292. Leave 30p for a little bit extra horse. I don't think that's going to be very competitive. Got a race car. Group 2. Keeping in a nice groove there on the right in the grass, I see. A little bit oversteer. It is a nice place to be here with the rev limit alarm. Shiny dash, nice to read, hasn't got digital. See, if CAS did anything useful, it would bring in some dash gauges from GT Auto, extra add-ons, digital, freaking boost gauges and stuff. Factory stock Mazda. Oh shit. It's an oversteer. Plenty of rotary compression there. Fun, 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 till your daddy takes your T-bird away. Yeah, I don't normally take out the special stage, so I want to take the Shelby out and just do a quick little settings adjustment. So I stiffened it right up, lifted the front end for a bit of speed. Be good if his hand moved to do indicators or hazards like that as well. Too much graphic, I suppose. Take all that down the green line. fastest tool in the shed. It's a good car. Just sort of can't really fault it as it is. Bit oversteer, I suppose, does that grab. Oh, that's why I'm in a 5-speed. Oh, just threw me off for a brief instant there. What a car to follow in there, but just should have gone a bit super slow. Should have known. Horrible draft. BGT. To sports tyres. Johnny 2 times, baby. Johnny twice today. Johnny 2 times, girl. Before she goes away. Oh shit. He loves her 2 times. Now he's going to do what? Just pass me like a brutal numbskull? Can if you want, mate. Okay. Around the outside of the F40. I think it was a GT500 in NSX there. Could be wrong. Yeah, slightly horrible bias, but that's about all. They've come together. Oop. Okay, solved that riddle. How am I going to pass this dude? Oh. Just going to touch the outside then. It's gone from 12 people to 2 people, which is often what happens when you start smashing the driving line like that shutter right there. Nobody has done it compatibly as quick. It's a bit easier with worse tyres. Racing hards, which I consider my Cup 2R, they're sort of like the lowest of the slicks. If people don't drive right, they're slicks enough to pull a super as quick racing line as a bad driver on softs, but a bad driver on softs will always manoeuvre quicker through these windy sections, so you don't get 100%. The numbers are dwindling. I just hope it stays open long enough to do this GT500 lap. Finish on track. Oh, LFA. Hello. Shunted. Shit, eh? With respect, I just smashed that out. Racing hards. That'll do. Couldn't have been that high. I'll put it 35, 25 maybe at those curbs. Newer cars, so it can stay pretty stiff. It's the quality of the suspension. If I put the nose down too much, it'll be oversteer, won't it? Oversteer central. Especially on racing hards. Sorry. Oh, that could have hooked me. Took you. Tank slapper. One out of 5. Often a place to go. Oh, I took the downforce off as well, so it had full downforce. 700p, it probably wasn't necessary. How could that be? Oh, I needed suspension change. That's weird. Oh, well, 5 to 7. I just got called it, and crash you die. Yes, sir. I did want to have a look at that. Was it the first race? Second race? No, the second race was clean as can be. It's scumbag. The first race had a couple of questionables. Wasn't afternoon defining, but I did claim he barged me twice. I think that was pretty clear and concise. So the Hurricanes are doing quite well there. Chris P. Bacon. Good to see. He's got his priorities right there. You're gonna know how you like it. I think there's this dude. It was quick, but no sense in just weaving and being an idiot when you're 12th or whatever, or second last. That's right, behind Norms. He must have got past here because I followed him up that turn 2 off the track. I remember thinking, I'm just going to bump your hair, there's no point in contesting this corner up ahead. Oi! Fuck, he's keen. Crispy bacon. That's the thing with dailies, eh? They're just like, you gotta get your elbows out, play there. Do as they do in Rome, or whatever's the saying. So is it Peugeot putting in a bit of a drop in the hat for Kaz, this next one? Oh, that was a bit Aussie. Got your linguistics. Oh, he's fucking him off. Get out of it, eh? What did they do earlier on? Couple of... He's contesting that one, which put him right on the inside here, and that's on. Oh, he's covered him off. That was clean. No, he's tapped him. We'll have to watch out for Aussie. That's not very good. Unless he took him out. That's it, mate. Straight up the inside. You can dive bomb. No one home. Linguistics. Took a detour. He wants him for it. You amateur. Oh, that one antics, that was tight. Covered him off well. He's tapped him on for his troubles. That's a push pass, Aussie. Don't like that, you should give that back. Yeah, did he tap him? He might have got him back. That's straight up Shadow Realm. I think there was a little tap there in revenge. Just there. He didn't like it. That was a push pass, Aussie. Oh, that was just a little bit of a nudge. Now I really don't like Aussie. There was nothing in that. If it was a revenge, negative, but for that, I can send him. Anyway, leave it on track. He might be good next race. That was me penalty. Got out of the way a prolific overtake, double jobber, straight away. This guy was a bit manic with his steering assist. Tried to pull back and just fucking brake check this dude, that's probably why. The old elbows out. Who did I get? Norms. He didn't really benefit that badly, but Green-Eyed Monster sent me into next week. So I'll come up here. Hello. What the fuck? He's got his steering assist, but can he find the steering wheel? Twat. Get him! Get him! Oh, he's going to push past instead. Well done. He must be thinking, I'm so tidy, I'm going to get past this guy. That's two massive big drifts. I fucking don't know what he's doing. But instead of giving me a little punt, that's 3 in a row. Barely hanging onto it, driving for his life. Straight away, from last, with a gap to third last, he didn't want to work together. He's got, what is it when a squid has a one hemisphere brain, like we've got 2 or 4 hemispheres. No, it must be 2, because a hemisphere is half a sphere, isn't it? Hemi. Yeah. So I think a squid doesn't have that. I think it's a monosphere. He's got a single brain. That's a useless piece of information I found out today. Some scientist was talking about, I think, Hajime, the Egyptian antiquities minister fella that knows everything, writes his own books, puts restrictions on the rest of the world to study the gift of the ancients, which they claim to be Arabs that built the pyramids. The advances on the massive columns that are spiralling down underneath them, almost like modern day superstructure foundations, pillars, or what do you call it, pilings, which is probably what's going to turn out to be, because they've already surprised us with their celestial mathematics, and it's just crazy. They literally had to have known what the radius of the planet, of the Earth, is to have the dimensions that make up the Great Pyramid. It's just fucking crazy what they knew as an ancient culture, or whatever, pre-Ice Age, or whatever happened, the clean slate. They went about intellectual evolution differently, which is completely understandable. I mean, it's a far-fetched thing to say, aliens built it for us, or aliens built it for themselves and then they left, or whatever. It's just too far-fetched. The way that we've advanced in surges of evolution in intelligence, to think that it hasn't happened before, preceding our dating or our carbon dating system or whatever, and we all just stop at these places and think that we know because it's written in the culture that took over the freaking place. The stories that we live by. So why rock the boat? Scientists are just like, are you crazy? They're like geeks, so they got no power in the world. They can't exactly make shit happen. All the nerds holding all the cards. Hey, hang on. Excuse me. All the money and the freaking religions just say, shut up. No, you cannot. So he was pulling 41s. I just think he was a bit erratic, really, to have had the tyres a little bit worse than me after only 2 laps. There's quite a couple of little battles going on here, so Aussie's doing his thing. So it's crazy to think about the technology that we're only really discovering now, that we didn't have even a decade ago, that can prove shit that they just go, oh, yeah, you're a scientist, so it's questionable. And they've done it on structures like dams and things from 600 miles up from a satellite that just measures the density and gathers from whatever data, reverberations or resonance or whatever bounces off it. And they know something's there, and they prove the theory with what they already know. So then when they see something that don't know what it is, it's just a given. And these are scientists staking their careers and their livelihood and everything they know in the world because it's proof to them. to think that we just go, oh, maybe. And they're like, man, you can't exactly put your finger on it. So I just hope I see something decent in my generation. This is like the missing generation. The generations before was like World War I, World War II, huge big things, global things that happened. I'm sure we had COVID for a couple of, maybe a year and a half. But the Spanish flu killed many more. Only 2 generations before us. Then there was like, after the World Wars, there was like the moon landing for the baby boomers. They all just had something to gather around. Like, imagine people going into space. The boom on science fiction and all the things that were great for their generation of people. We've pretty much been a bit X, Y, Z. I suppose there's the internet, and we're still trying to find out how we're going to come away from that as a multi-generation sort of military go, oh, here's the internet, good luck. We've been using it for a few decades, but you can have it in your home now. And we're just going to sort of get out of that, but we are a bit of an experiment with that World Wide Web. Be great to just go, wow, look what the pyramids taught us. We have put about 200 years of knowledge, all the excavations and archaeology, the proof and the rules of archaeology will just be upside down. They'll have to redo the books. They redid the books on the freaking Maya language, which is another one of those, it just happens to be 10,000 years, not 4,000 years, or 10 to 12,000 years, not 4,000 years as the Egyptians say, 4,000 BC or whatever. Happens to be 10 or 12,000 years. Just pyramids just started to prick up like fucking angry porcupines around the world. It's funny, that one in Turkey. They built a dome over it and they can't figure out, it's almost like Stonehenge, but with artwork and freaking strange cuttings or tools. Megalithic freaking stones carved into a little celestial map, for want of a better word. No, don't worry about that. What we don't know, don't hurt us. Question all of our beliefs. Put Christmas on the chopping block, that sort of thing. I think it's funny that the Arabs stole all of the casing stones off the pyramids to build their little town, Alexandria and fucking Cairo and all that. They just stole all of the limestone casing stones from the thing and then said, yeah, well, the people before us were our ancestors and they built this and we're sticking to it. One of the funniest things to look up is the formation of the Rock of Gibraltar and how that happened, almost like as old as the Abbo, 60,000 years ago or whatever. Freaking the place had a big platelet shift and opened up the Mediterranean, which was what I reckon is the stories that were told, which was Noah's floods. The whole of that whole land that was the Mediterranean was not, because the Atlantic just flooded in there, and apparently it was it happened over only the course of about 2 years. The waterfalls, from what they've measured in their carbon dating or whatever, is going to get thrown out as poppycock soon enough, was that it happened over about 2 years, and the waterfalls were like 2 kilometres or something. I don't know, something ridiculous. Probably not that much. I think the Marianas Trench is only about, no, that's about 8,000 kilometres, 8,000 metres deep. So yeah, it was probably about 1 or 2 kilometre freaking geyser pouring through there. Just imagine opening up where the Rock of Gibraltar and Africa and Europe meet. just makes sense that the stories were twisted and whispered and passed down and changed and became what they lived by, because they never wanted to forget it. They were the hierarchies of the chiefs of the villages of fucking people like scratching the dirt, Neanderthal, Neolithic people. And it didn't happen when they said it happened. It happened where the Torah says it did, or whatever those Arabs have got as a religion. I just hope they don't blow each other to pieces and we forget all they know, because we got our Old Testament from it and it suited us. We know we just fucking suited that to our taste, and we don't want to be the devil as it stood. Turn the story on its head with a New Testament, and all of a sudden that's our word. But it is what it is. Live and learn. Or something. Anyway, if you think about how aggressive human beings are on the food chain, or the ladder, and the warlike tendencies we have, all of those stories were just to win and dominate and be the race. Had to have been a race or culture that won, was superior. If you got enough followers, you got a religion, you got the heart of an army, then you win. And if your army is the angels and the other army is the fucking devils, that's how it works. It's a bit more sophisticated, the way that some cultures breed another culture out, and they call that peaceful. Anyway, the old green monster strikes again. What a clean pass. He knows where his steering wheel is. He's got the little thing on there. Boof! Get out of my way. If I just touch your corner, I'm sure to shimmy on up the inside. It's a good place to pass there, especially when somebody hasn't made a mistake. Jesus Christ. Oh, these two going tooth and nail. Poor old Chansey. I think he thinks he's better than he is. Strangely enough, we've both got better tyres than him. He's going for the pass here. Oh no, he's backed out of it. Thought better of it. Apparently if you go into the pits quickly, you come out of the pits quickly. So the theory goes with the experts. I might let this race run its course. I think we've seen enough. I have blabbed on.
you